This is a very simple, quick little training video on how to run the audio mixer. It has a million buttons on it, but please don't worry, it's nowhere near as complicated as it looks. Basically, everything from these red and orange and blue and white and black, this whole center space, we don't use. Most people don't need to use it. It's a set it and forget it sort of thing. So just a quick note down here, all of our input sources are currently muted. And so depending on who is here, on any particular day, we want to open some of those up. Let's say the microphone for the pianist, Kelly's microphone, and maybe Barb and Norm, will unmute those. Diane's headset in this case, her wireless headset microphone. The handheld microphone, that's this guy here, that we want to unmute that. We'll leave the pastor's microphone muted for the moment. And let's say we have somebody at the drums today, and we have a guitarist and a bassist, and we'll do that. So that's pretty well set. Oh, piano, of course. Now, as this is being used, what will happen is there are two sets of controls that you actually need to pay attention to. One of which is here, and these are the volume levels for each channel. We're going to call a column a channel. So the piano, which has its own mic right here, is a channel number 5 actually, and it's also labeled up here at the top. So does the handheld microphone, has a channel number, handheld is channel number 14, and it's labeled at the top. Two adjustments that you might want to make is, I'm going to turn on this microphone. When somebody's speaking, right, what you or the group is singing, what you'll see here is this green light will be flashing, and this is about where you want it to be. You want it to be flashing about this much. And so if you have if the light is flickering on and off steadily, and this slider is somewhere up here towards the top of its setting, not at the top, but towards the top, then you should be just about right. Things should be working just about right for you. That's a good level. Over here, you'll see this row of lights come up, and there's a little set mark here. That's about where you want these to come up to. They can even go into the yellow once in a while, and that's okay. A little flickering into the yellow is just fine. Not a problem, right? So basically, you set these across here so each instrument or person is set to the proper level. And you'll be listening through this set of headphones. You'll be able to hear how the entire mix is. There is, by the way, an adjustment for the earphone level. If the earphones are too loud or too soft, you can adjust that right here. That does not change, this earphone level does not change what goes out of the mixer into the PA system, into the computer system for streaming. It just changes what you hear in your ears. Now, a couple of quick things. If this person is set too high, we'll say just for a second. Let me mute. I can mute that. That's muted, but so it doesn't come through the big speakers while I'm speaking, but you can still see the light is going, right? So just as a for instance, if this person is speaking too loudly into the mic, maybe they got the mic right up like that, and this light becomes very steady green like this, right? Steady green. You can go up here to the top adjustment, which you can think of as mic sensitivity, and you can turn it down a little bit so it goes back to a flickering mode. You want it to flicker. You don't want it so it's like mostly steady green. You want it to flicker some like that. So, and in this case, this one is set for about 9 o'clock. Some of them are set for more, some of them are set for less. I believe the piano up here is set for about 1 o'clock on the dial. Some of the guitars are set a little higher, a little lower. The boom microphone that Diane wears is set down here because she sings quite loudly, so we have to set that down for about 9 o'clock on the dial. But that controls your mic sensitivity. And so if you're being overwhelmed, right, on the system, you can turn that sensitivity down. Or if they talk very softly or they don't stand close to the mic and it's barely flickering, you can turn that mic sensitivity up and you can catch them better that way. If the mic sensitivity is high, you might get a big whistle out of everything. You know, you get that good old feedback whistle. And one way to cure that is to just turn the mains down or turn or start muting mics and figure out which one is turned too high. But generally, if they're right, you'll see them flicker just a steady flicker instead of a steady green or a very dim flicker. The main mix button is over here. This is the output to everything. And if it's too high, you'll get up into the yellow a lot, or you'll get down into the red. I'll put that microphone away. You'll get up into the red or the yellow too much. You want that set so, again, so it's just coming up into the yellow. You turn that mic back on. We're going to set this so we're just touching the yellow now and then. That's a good setting. And if putting it into the yellow causes the volume to be too loud in the sanctuary, you could always go down to your PA amplifier down below, and the two big round white knobs will turn the volume down in the sanctuary without having to set anything else, without having to fiddle with it up here. Again, most of the time, these are pretty well set, and you'll be able to tell how it's mixing. You know, if you've got too much piano or too much guitar or not enough guitar or not enough piano, you'll be able to tell by listening through your headphones and watching how the green lights flicker. But most of the time, this is pretty well set, and you don't have to fiddle with it a whole bunch during the service. That's it. That is basically how this system works. The power for this comes on automatically when you turn the switch on to the booth, by the way. You don't have, there is a power button back here, but you don't have to use it. It will come on when you turn the booth on. It will go off when you turn the booth off. And that's it. Usually we mute them all at the end of the service after everybody is done.